Hey guys, it is Raf. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made over $80,000 in a single day, simply just copying other e-commerce brands. All right, now, I got the wrong screenshot up. All right, for all you haters in the comments saying I didn't make $80,000 in a single day, I'm on the Shopify now. There you go. I did make it 80,805. So there you go. I'll even refresh the screen for you. There you go. It's real numbers. I'm not a guru. I don't drop ship, right? I think drop shipping is too gimmicky. You don't build any long-term business. It's honestly like a pump and dump, right? The information on this channel I give is free, always will be free, and will provide you enough value to do everything that I've done. I haven't found a channel who provides the same information as I'm providing, which is why I'm doing it. But there's a lot of other channels there where you can get information from, but this, I'm literally telling you exactly what I do. I do private mentoring. I currently only have about 5 people in it, and I only want to bring in, honestly, another 5 because I can't mentor that many people. And I would love for you to already kind of have your own business too, because I just want to build a network of people who have their own brands and have successful brands, because we can all bounce off each other and make more money. So the first thing you need to do is pick a product. Now, what product does it need to be? It needs to be consumable. For example, a gummy, tablets, skincare, those sorts of things, because they need to run out so people can subscribe and keep ordering on subscription. We have subscriptions set up on our business. That was a large part of our $80,000 day too. We have over $100,000 a month coming in purely from subscriptions, and that's been honestly the most profitable part of our business. You want to make sure you have a hero product, but you also need to have a product that can be bundled with other products. For example, you can have, face skincare and body skincare, or hand wash, all these things, right? You can bundle all those things together so you can increase your average order value, which is the 4th point. The 3rd point is that you need to be different, right? You need to be able to kind of come at things from a different angle, attack it from a different angle. For example, a lot of people sell skincare for women, but not many people sell skincare for men, right? So that's just another angle that you can unlock. Obviously, men are harder to target. So honestly, you can sell skincare for men, but still sell it to women who give it to their men. Now, the last point, which I touched on just before, is that it has to have high average order value. What does that mean? It means that the total order amount on average from customers needs to be high. Why is this important? Well, it's important because you've got these big brands who are willing to lose money on the first purchase when they're running Facebook ads. So what you need to do is be able to outbid them by having a large order value, so you can spend more on acquiring the customer and still be profitable at the start. Because you need to be profitable at the start unless you have, tons and tons of money and focus on retention. But I would always suggest, when you're starting out, have a product that can be profitable on the first order. Now, you can also find this on Atria and AdSpy also have like little tools that you can find underserved audiences, and then you can actually target those audiences. You do have to pay for those platforms. I'm not affiliated with them, but if you use those platforms, you'll be able to find some underserved audiences that you could potentially market to if they're a large enough audience. You've got to make sure that the audience you're targeting is large and isn't too niche, so you can actually scale the business. So now you need to search for the product. So there's multiple ways you can search for the product. I would suggest using Pinterest for brand and design inspo, which you can either brand yourself or get someone on Fiverr to do the branding for you. But you're going to find a lot of brand inspo on not only Pinterest, but also Behance as well. In terms of, finding your audience, you've got to look on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You've got to read the comments, learn more about the behavior of the audience that you're desiring to target. And also, there's a lot of ecom brands who advertise on Instagram especially, and Facebook. So you can just see those, see those brands, see a brand that you like that has a large market, and potentially start doing it with that. Twitter is honestly my favorite thing for ecom. You get so much free value. Even I get free value there still from Twitter. And you can definitely find brand inspiration and I guess product inspiration as well on Twitter. So if you're in e-commerce, even if you're already in e-commerce, you got to make sure you get on Twitter. Now, if you want to see how much money a business is making, you can use SimilarWeb and search up their website and then see how many monthly visits that website's getting. And if you want to work out like how much money they're making, you would want to multiply the visits by your estimated conversion rate, which might be, about 3%, and then multiply by what you think the average order value is, and then you'll be able to work out roughly how much money a month they're making. Look at the ads and look at the offer that these other brands have. Offer is super important. Every brand, especially every big brand, has like a special offer. Try and see some offers, are too good for a smaller business to do because they're honestly like not even profitable. But if you can make a really enticing offer for your customers, it's going to help you enter the market with a real bang. After these 4 slides, you would have found a winning product and you would have found a winning store or winning business that you can either, I guess, improve on or take inspiration from. And now you've got to move on to the next step. This is finding a supplier. So what do? Whatever product you want, you go into Alibaba, search up whatever product that you want to sell. If you are selling like a formulated skincare product or something, you would have to send them the formulation and the product ingredients that you'd want them to use. Don't just use their like Chinese base, whatever they're using, because they won't be the highest quality usually, but they are all capable of making very high quality products. Look for a supplier where the cost price, including shipping to, Australia, America, wherever you're from, right, is at least 3 times lower than the sale price of your competitor. Honestly, if you can aim for 5, I would probably suggest doing 5, or you'll just upcharge on what your competitor's charging and try and be like a more premium brand. But you also want to find multiple suppliers so you can negotiate these prices down. We noticed that the first supplier we were using, we didn't really vet that many suppliers. Luckily, they provided really good quality products, but in the end, they were just way too expensive and we had to go elsewhere. So if you just vet a few suppliers beforehand, you'll save a lot of money and you'll be able to save more money than we did, at least, because that probably cost us probably $10,000-$15,000. So hopefully you don't have to do the same thing we did. Now, you just got to make sure that you have a rough idea, on how much profit you'd be making, regardless of the acquisition cost. And then you can pick a supplier slightly later, but you've just got to keep negotiating and sampling with them and seeing which one is best. The next step is to build a website. Now, Shopify does allow you to use templates that are already built out, where you can literally just drag and drop things. So you can use Figma. I love Figma. Figma is fantastic, especially for emails as well. But there's also a tool called HTML2 Design, where you can copy competitors' websites designs, change it to your branding, your images, all that sort of thing. And it does cost a bit of money, but like, honestly, these websites, especially like these $1 million brands, they've spent so much money on conversion rate optimization, all these things. This tool is so good. You can literally just copy and paste the website, change a few things, and you're going to have a store that is way better than the Shopify template. I guess I did say steal, but the next tab obviously says don't steal, because look, some competitors might see you and get pissed off. I've seen that happen to someone. We actually saw some bloke, or speaking to some bloke who had a product or had a store that was literally a complete carbon copy of someone else's store, and the actual brand owner exposed them on Twitter, which was hilarious. But don't steal, because when you get bigger, it'll get you into trouble. When you're a little brand, no one cares, but make sure you just take inspiration and honestly try and improve it. Try and see some things. Oh, I actually don't like how this is here. It makes it more difficult, and trying to improve it slightly. But don't take too long with all the nitpicky stuff. You've got to do everything quick, because when you're starting a brand and finding a product and doing all these things, you've got to make sure that you can get everything out and execute it quickly, rather than procrastinating on every little bit of brand design, every little bit of the website, every little bit of everything, right? You got to make sure that you just get the brand out there and don't procrastinate, because otherwise you're never going to go live. So there's multiple ways you can actually optimize the website. So you can use, heat map tools like Hotjar, which will show you, I guess the customer journey and what they're doing. We've used that in the past. It's provided good information on how we can actually improve our website. As you scale, I would probably suggest that you use some CRO agencies. They're about $5,000 a month, sometimes even $10,000 a month. They will boost your conversion rate, but you want to make sure, it's worth it, right? Because boosting your conversion rate does, bring money in that you've been just wasting and leaving down the drain. But again, sometimes not all of the CRO agencies are going to actually help you, increase that value. So be very careful when you're looking for agencies if you already have a brand. So next is the exciting part, where you are going to start running your ads. Now, the most scalable ads are the top of funnel ads, which target unaware audiences. So as you can see here, prospect is either not aware of his or her desires or needs, or won't honestly admit it. So this is where you have to kind of target people's like hidden insecurities and hidden pain points that will keep them watching and honestly keep them buying. A secret hook or a story hook or all these things, these are very important and work very well for top of funnel. But eventually you want the top of funnel to become the bottom of funnel. So this is the people who actually know your product specifically and know what they want. They just don't have a reason, I guess, to act now. So these are like the low hanging fruit that will convert at a much higher rate. So again, this is probably where an offer comes in or creating a sense of urgency, which will get them to buy. We currently we run a bit of Google, but for the most part, we only ran meta ads. That's probably the biggest like lever and gonna help you scale the most. So I'll definitely start off running purely meta. You don't have to spend anywhere else. You don't have to spend on TikTok. You don't have to spend on Google. Just start running meta ads and get those successful before you kind of look elsewhere. Now, creating content. So when you're starting your brand, you want to get samples from China, from the Chinese suppliers, and you want to send it to your UGC creators. It's very important that these UGC creators are able to make authentic content that honestly, when it pops on someone's feed, it doesn't even look like an ad. It just looks more like a review or just a happy customer. So usually they're going to cost, this is Australian dollars, 150, 250. Or sometimes we've had people who have done it for a free product because they really want to get the product. You can also create some B-roll, some product B-roll for your ads, and then create ads with like an AI voice or, a voiceover. You can actually take people's voices from the internet. I wouldn't use like a celebrity's voice or anything, but like just some random podcast. You can take their, male voice, female voice, old woman voice, like teenager voice, and use those for your ads, because then it like doesn't really come across as an AI ad. It comes across as like someone speaking, but it's a little cheat code. You can do that through 11 Labs, which we use as well. The next, you want to start making scripts for the ads. So you want to make sure that you write a creative brief, which actually shows the creator how you want them to film the ad. So you might have to just film it yourself and then send it to the creator as an example and get them to do it like that. Again, like I said before, it has to be authentic. You cannot have the ad feel like an advertisement. It can't be too salary, it can't be all these things. The ads that scale the best are just the ads that look like everyday, Instagram posts that would just be on like a normal account. To keep an audience watching, there has to be a story being told about a pain point that they feel. And that's where you have the longest hold rate and, customers are staying watching your ads to the very end. Now, good UGC creators can naturally convey that the problem solved, their pain point, and it should be posed more as like a recommendation rather than an advertisement or like a hard close. Authenticity is everything with content. You can't compete with these big brands. You can't compete with anyone if your advertisement doesn't look authentic. Now it's time for scaling. So next is scaling. So this is actually how you kind of get out of the business, and you're still doing work, but the work changes. You're no longer fulfilling orders. You're not doing all these things, right? Once you've found something winning, you've got to go ship the products yourself with a 3PL. I have a warehouse, which we have employees who ship the orders for us. For Australia, it's a bit leaner than having an Australian 3PL. But when we scale to America, we'll probably get an American 3PL. But we used to ship it from my friend's garage, right? So we used to, because there was multiple owners with us, we actually did have time to, ship out the orders ourselves for a little while. But especially if it's just by yourself, honestly, it's probably just easier to get a 3PL without all this, getting warehouse and stuff and all that at the start, because it's just going to make life a lot easier for you and you actually focus on the things that make the business money. So you want to scale your ad spend and invest into more content. So what we've noticed is don't usually scale more than 20%, because that will kind of ruin your ad campaign. So scale by 10 to 20% every day that you're happy with the results. And, even still, don't be conservative with it, because we literally scaled 20% every day for a week when we were sitting around 30K a month, and literally doubled our business in a week because our ads could take the spend, and we just, the results are great. There's always things you can improve on. You can make a better offer. You can improve the website. You can honestly make the formulation and your product actually better, or even just add extra upsells and add-on products as well. But I think you've always got to make sure that your ads are improving and you're always making more and more, because you never know when an ad's going to die out, and it might be selling good for a week, but then after a week it might no longer be achieving good results. And after that, you've got to have ads ready to inject into your ad account. So yeah, like I said before, always try and add new products when you can. Make sure they complement other products in your range. You want to make sure you can create more bundles. And honestly, if you're lucky, you strike the lottery, you might even find another like full winning product like we did recently, which is now our new flagship product. But yeah, always just keep improving, but the products have to align with your brand, right? If you've got skincare products, don't all of a sudden start selling, t-shirts, right? Make sure it aligns with your brand. Don't try and sell everything, right? There are some brands who sell, literally everything, and they're an ecom brand, and I just look at them like, what are you doing? Like, it just ruins your brand identity. And if anything's working, just do more of it. If there's a product or a bundle that sells the best, just make all your ads for that bundle, right? Don't try and advertise everything. Always try and advertise your best selling products if it's working. So the next part, this is not a part that we're up to yet, but we've thought about it. So it's actually selling your e-commerce store and creating generational wealth for yourself, your family, right? E-com stores usually sell for an average of 3 to 5 times their yearly profit. So if you want to sell your store for $1 million, you probably need to make, anywhere from about $300,000 profit or $350,000 profit to $200,000 profit per year, right? This is achievable, right? I know it seems crazy, but this is really achievable. And with e-com, with how scalable it is, it's actually not that much. So, if you make $50 profit a unit, so if you have, an average profit per, sale, of 50. So if you have an average profit of $50 per sale, you only need to sell about 15 to 18 to 20 times a day, right? Which again, isn't that much, but that is very high profit per order. It's higher profit per order than we have. But again, with subscriptions and stuff, that can, you can get there because we're there with subscriptions as well. You've got to set out all these goals. And if you do, if down the line, you're like, I don't really want to be a founder, I do want to exit out of my ecom business eventually, you've got to set these goals in your mind and just write them down and write down, I guess, what you want out of, honestly, just life. You've got to make sure that you have big goals that you want to hit, and then smaller goals from a weekly or monthly basis, and just tick them off. It's very satisfying to just tick off all your goals. And honestly, you just feel way more productive and way more fulfilled, and you're doing a lot more. Look, here's the saddest truth, right? Everyone who's watching this video, if you've made it this far, you're definitely probably in the top 5% of listeners and 5% of people who are even thinking about doing e-commerce. But most people are just gonna go click off it and watch another video, or, scroll through Instagram and look at some Instagram models or whatever, right? But if you're still listening, you definitely have a good attention span, which, I'm considered Gen Z, right? Because I'm 21. Right? For Gen Z and the younger generations, attention span, I've noticed it too sometimes with myself, it's completely shot, right? So people can't even sit through a 15, 20-minute video. But this video is for the people who genuinely want to change their life and make something for themselves, right? Most people just don't make anything from themselves. I was working 9 to 5 for a long time. I didn't even have much money. And then I met this guy in Sydney who was building a $3 million house and had a G-Wagon, and he was 2 years younger than me, and I was working 6 days a week. And I'm like, well, what am I doing in my life? My life sucks, right? I work, way more than he does, right? And I don't even have anything close to what he has, right? So these are the things, right? But it does take work. But this is the thing. You can be lazy now and work for the rest of your life, or you can just lock in now and then not be lazy, but have more freedom in your life later on down the track. Which is, I'm almost getting to that point. I'm probably a couple years away from having that true freedom, but still got to lock in, still got to work all the time. But soon I'll be able to, not retire, but have the option to if I want to, which I don't know, I'd probably do at 50. Look, if you are interested in one-on-one mentorship, book a call with me. The link's in the description. If you're lazy, there's no point, right? I'm not going to mentor anyone who's lazy. we won't be able to help you. But if you aren't lazy and you're willing to work, we can scale you to, 10K, 100K a month, no problem, right? And we have done that for people in the past. So yeah, I'm not like these other gurus. I'm not going to give you just some modules and then piss you off, right? I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to have contact with you all the time. And yeah, just provide enough value. But again, look, all I'm going to say is this YouTube video, what I want from my channel is to just provide you all with enough value so you can do what you want to do and live the life you want and build your own brand and build a successful e-commerce store without having to buy. Just book a call with me below. If you're lazy, we won't be able to help you, so there's no point. If you're willing to lock in and make a change in your life, we'll definitely be able to help you scale to 10, 100K a month. No problem. We've done that for people in the past or people in the group, and they'll speak to you as well. But look, it's up to you entirely. This video should provide you enough value. My previous videos will provide you with a lot of value, and my future videos will too. So if you're still watching, thank you so much. It means the world to me that you're still watching. Yeah, and just subscribe if you want to see more of this content, and like, so I know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.